This is Justin AMZN for Wednesday, May 16th, 2018. I'm looking at the last couple days here, just a couple key areas. The indecision we got right here looks really similar to the indecision we got right here. This one turned into a double bottom that ran right back up into the 1841.30 price. That's what we had today. We had a double bottom here, or somewhat of a multi-bottom coming out of pre-market, but either way, it still ran right up into 1841.30, which for today after yesterday was a really nice support. And so this was a retest from below, started to roll back down, and immediately got bought back up, just continued running. Let me zoom in on the day here now. Really nice large candle, looking like a lot of bears were just loading on here, and had a very small inside candle compared to this one, and then broke out on the very next candle. So if anybody was getting bearish and had a stop up above that candle, they were getting stopped out. If anybody was just kind of having a loose stop and not really caring, I mean, maybe they were watching at this point and thinking, oh, if it goes up, I'll just get out around here. And then it's like, okay, you get out a little bit higher. It's like, well, it should come back down and retest. I'll just get out here for break even. And then it never makes it back down. So you're trapping any bears. The price is here. The price right here was contending with yesterday's high. And so it makes sense that we just pull back a little bit from there. But we made more of a hammer type candle right here about 10 o'clock. Had an inside candle again. So these two candles look similar to these two, just smaller. Actually, these two look similar to these two, look similar to these two. And we just kept making hammers. Hammer here, hammer-ish here. Let's see if we make some more on our way up. Just look at the level here. We ran into a resistance, clearly resistance, just could not poke through that for what, an hour? From 11 till 12:30, an hour and a half, nearly an hour and a half. We just were bumping up against this resistance. Actually, yeah, the 12:30 candle. So an hour and a half, we just ran right up into this, and even tried to do a little bit of a roll from here and touch the 21, which holding the 21 just meant this still has some room to run, and it had just a continuation move higher. Didn't even get some selling into the close like we had, after the rally yesterday. We had some selling turning into somewhat of a multi-top, head and shoulders here or something like that yesterday. Even this day, we just ran straight up, and then, not straight up. We had this move down, then this move up, and then into the close, we sold off. Today, we didn't have that. We didn't have that sell-off. We just went sideways into the close. And so if any bears were trying to make a little scalp, on its way back down into these, we didn't touch this from above. We didn't touch this one from above. We paused at this one because of this candle. We paused at this level because of these candles. But overall, actually, let me go to the daily. Overall, we were just cutting up through these lines. We crushed two of these support resistance lines. We didn't even do that here. We paused at this one. We pulled back and held that one. Then we moved up through these two. But the two lines that we got through today, we haven't done that. The last time we interacted with this line where it held from below, besides what we just did here and here, we did it here, so that's been common, but we ran into it today. We didn't just hold it. One bearish candle showed up. That was it. That's incredibly bullish. And then let's see here, we just had a small move up. This one we had a bigger move up. That's where this line came from, it looks like. Going back to July 25th, this line was drawn in here. Let's see, what's the high on that candle? 1863.84. 1863.61 was the close. So I used the high on that candle. Just moved straight up through that. So, overall here, we're at a great level for us to really be bouncing, This, just highlighting that line, look at how well that acted as support for these three candles, holding that one, resistance here, indecision here, looking like it was going to do something here and then breaking down, trapping any bulls that got on there. And then, yeah, we were making all-time highs. So we kind of chopped around in it, had a bullish gap and go out of this one, moved up a little bit more, and then earnings hit and, anything happens. But, just it's been a great level here at about 1815. What's crazy is we didn't even touch it the last few days here. We came down to 1815.75. Didn't touch it this day. Almost got there today or yesterday, and then today didn't even push down to get there. This is kind of this double bottom pre-market, and then another double bottom as the market opens up, and just some great opportunities to take some bullish moves here. So if we go look at, this is the 1875 call, a great consolidation. Pretty much this whole range was within $100 risk. I mean, you start out with a high of 375 down to 251. So, within the first 15 minutes, yes, that's more than $100 risk. But once this consolidated, I mean, you had some pretty big candles, here. And the option price is totally just consolidated. I mean, it's not dropping a huge amount, even with this candle here. Let's see which that was. Yeah, I mean, this candle made the low. This one didn't come back out and take out that low. We had the squeeze here. It's amazing just having that squeeze there, and then seeing how we just got really, really tight here. The exponentials cross, and then, I mean, even this run up and pullback. If you were buying an option here at 855, something like that, getting in 855, doing something like 3x2, you still had that same opportunity to get in 3x2. This candle, this candle, this candle. So all of these, even though had you gotten, the setup was 3x2 down here on that 1875 call, and getting in on any of the lows on these candles would have gotten you in, which is one of the best setups, because these are lower wicks that are actually holding. And it's like, okay, it just went up from there. Yes, we made a bearish engulfing candle, but with the close way up here, and then the very next candle, was relatively flat, and then doesn't even contend with any of these lows again. It's like, okay, yeah, that's looking really bullish. We ran up, broke out, consolidated, broke out again. We ran right into about 1850 and kind of paused in here, had some indecision come in, and then, like I said, another inside candle that just continued on up. Little pendant here, or bigger pendant, here that just continued on up. A bigger, just sideways, nothing's happening because it's lunchtime sort of day, and then continuation higher. So you can see that playing out here on this call, getting in 3x2. The 1850 price was around $6. Pulled back slightly. This was another opportunity. You could have gotten in doing something like 3x2, and then waiting till it's up here and do like 5x4. And that way, if it does come back down, your stop for both would be at 4, and you'd be break even. That kind of add and reduce. So it's like you bought at 5, you bought at 3, your new stop's 4, you're break even. That still works. But then, that's a great opportunity to add more to the position on a small pullback on its way up. And then you had almost another, well, I mean, we didn't quite get to the $5 price, but if that order was out there, maybe it would have filled. And then another pullback here, almost getting to the $7 price. Could have done the same thing, like 7x6. Right here on this pullback, this is where it came back and I think touched that was this one at 10. My times are off now. No, that was the 155. Okay, so that was this one right here. That was when we touched the 21 and then bounced from there. And so there were some great opportunities even up here, getting in 8x7. I mean, after this candle form, yeah, 8x7. If 7x6 didn't fill, 8x7 or 9x8, or it's like these things kept working on its way up. Even doing like 10x9, even though you're not below low, I mean, you still could have gotten up to 12, almost 13. No, we actually got to 13. I don't know if I got filled at 13 or if somebody was buying up there. Probably somebody was buying up there, and I mean, they had to be for it to make a wick like that. looks like buying. But anyway, it's, we got this run up here, and then from here we just totally went sideways. And so the question is, okay, what are we going to do from here? Oh, and by the way, here's the puts, but there's nothing that happened with the puts. So anyway, yeah, back to this. It'd be great to see a pullback that holds this level, similar to how we did here, where we, in this case, the previous day, today, we just kind of start to do this S curve and pull back, like this. And I mean, if we pull back this far, this is a great opportunity. I don't know that it's going to get down that far. And so if you set this up to buy here, the other thing could be that, I mean, if you connect some of these lines, somebody might be thinking that this is a really, really, really good resistance right here, or just above here. Really? Oh, I dropped it. Okay, let me try again. There you go. We've got touches pretty much on all these highs from a few days ago, just about here into today. So all it is resistance line. That's all. I'm not saying it's a real deal. I'm just saying, hey, there's a level there that it looks like we're running into, or almost did here. And when this is working really well, we're going to get some sell-offs, and that's what happened. We got this massive move down, and we're still kind of recovering that. Now we've made higher highs. We've done higher highs, not quite higher lows. Yeah, so this one was lower than this one, and this one. This one was higher than. I'm sorry, this one's low was lower than this one. So kind of a backwards order. But anyway, great place to be getting in bullish. It should continue to run. We've got a bearish retest gap here, bearish retest gap here. It could easily get back up to probably pretty close to 1925. And then it's going to feel like, should we really be up here? And the question will be, is this going to look like this? And we just consolidate. I mean, the way we've been moving, I could see us just chopping sideways like this, just chopping sideways, and then getting last push. And some people are going to go, like, oh, we shouldn't be up here, and go bearish. But the way this has been moving, this has been such a bullish trend here. My guess is that we'll get something like this. We'll get some bearish candles, and then we'll do some sort of gap up above it and just run. It'll be even steeper than it's been now. I mean, maybe not as steep as this one, but anyway, there's definitely some opportunities to kind of plan for what you expect to happen, and some reasons for getting into it, bullish or bearish. Right now and throughout today, the biggest move was going bullish. So hope that makes sense, and we will continue to see what's going on the rest of the week. More videos. Hope you enjoyed this video. This is just AMZN. Thanks.